Koen and Bas here with our podcast about the real use of AI models in business. And today we'll be diving into Anthropic's new computer use API for their Cloud AI platform. To summarize it, you can imagine an AI assistant that can actually use a computer like a human would. So clicking, typing, navigating, and more, and use part of its brain to actually execute on those tasks. And we'll break down how it works. So from setting up the environment in which you can test it to some real world applications you can think of. You can think of automated testing, data processing, and handling repetitive computer tasks that would normally maybe be handled by something that's known in the industry as RPA, so robotic process automation, but a lot more flexible. So yeah, stick around to learn how you could deploy this for your own organization. Let's dive in. Koen, maybe to elaborate on this, what's your opinion on computer use and what do you think it can do for either our customers or people that are looking for AI solutions in general? Is this a big step forward?
Yeah, certainly. I think if you 2 years ago, ChatGPT was launched somewhere 2 years ago. It was a big step forward for people to use AI, because before AI was only available to larger companies or researchers. And I think this is another step, making it even more easy to use AI because it's available on your PC or your laptop, and it can automate stupid tasks like copy pasting text, for example. So yeah, I think it's a big step forward in allowing everyone to use AI to speed up their work.
And I think in general, right, everyone that only uses a computer in work and
Yeah.
never talks to anyone can now be automated. Yeah, the social
Yeah, that sounds a bit
in the
scary.
future, right? It's not that production ready, but
No.
it gives you a glimpse into the future. We're not there yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think the social aspects are becoming more and more important,
Yeah.
and the group dynamics of a job, and things like data entry or the common tasks most people don't like
Yeah.
can now be automated without huge investments, right? Because this model already understands the context of a computer, the context of a program. It basically knows the whole internet and is then able to operate your computer.
Yeah.
So it can perform a really broad range of tasks. Move your mouse to the right location in your software that doesn't have an integration with a spreadsheet you want to fill in or something.
Yeah.
It used to be a big problem, but now I can just look at it, remember what it's seeing on one screen, and then enter it in another screen, for instance,
Yeah.
or summarize what it's seeing for you. So we prepared a little use case for it, and I will demo it later. But I think that this is the big impact, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's a bit comparable to the development of humanoids, the robots.
Yeah.
Because developing an AI that is smart is one thing, but making it work in the human life, in the human infrastructure is another thing. And so by making something that works on a computer and acts like it's a normal user, so it uses its mouse to click on buttons, for example, makes that it's not necessary to change all the tools and software we have right now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. For now, I think it's interesting to have a look at the documentation from Anthropic first, and then I'll just show quickly, not in depth, how you can get this up and running yourself on your computer, which is, it can be a technical challenge if you've never seen this, but if you follow along, you are able to deploy this on your own machine, which is quite cool. You can experiment with it a little bit and see what it can do for you now. They did release the whole thing under like preview or beta kind of use, so you can expect it. It makes a lot of mistakes at this point, or it doesn't do exactly what you want. So they've been smart about this. They made it in such a way, and let me share my screen now. They made it in such a way that you can run this whole thing, the computer use, inside a virtualized environment. And that means it's running separately from your own computer. So, of course, you don't want the AI model to go rogue and delete all your files. Not that it does that, but it's safe and secure to deploy this somewhere. So
it's more virtual computer use then.
Yeah.
Right now.
But right now, exactly. And they pre-configured this whole computer to be able to talk with the model, right? So the model knows exactly how this computer looks, how it works. So it's a Linux machine in essence that it's spinning up on your machine. So you can run this either on your Mac or on your Windows or on Linux.
Yeah.
As long as it's running Docker.
But to make it clear, on your PC it runs a virtual computer, and in this virtual computer the model is able to perform tasks, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the end, you cannot directly log into this computer, but it hosts a web application which you can then use to see the computer screen. But I will explain this a little bit later. It can sound confusing for the non-technical people following our channel. But yeah, let's start with some of the documentation. So here we have the specific page that we are discussing today, or the specific functionality that we are discussing today. So it's called computer use, and it basically means Anthropic trained its models to be able to understand commands for using your computer. It knows how a mouse works and how to move a mouse around on a desktop computer, or it knows what a folder is for a computer. Of course, it already knew that, but not what it could exactly do with that. It didn't know what commands to execute, or maybe it didn't know that well. And now it's specialized for this specific task, which is kind of cool. So you can see here that they included some scripts and stuff where you can also ask Anthropic to return these commands to you without using their preset machines. So if you have your own virtual machine somewhere or your own computer, you can actually write a script and then ask Anthropic to do stuff on your own computer. But this time we're not doing that. We're running this virtualized machine, so it doesn't destroy my own laptop over here. But how it basically works is that Claude, you can give it a task. So you give the AI model a task, and then it does a request to the Anthropic API. And Anthropic is the maker from the Claude AI, which is getting more and more sophisticated, and it's on par or ahead of OpenAI at this. Then after you made your prompt or your request to the AI, Claude decides which tool it's going to use. So a tool could mean using your mouse, using your keyboard, or enter some text, or navigate somewhere. And then after it's done using that tool, it takes another screenshot and it knows the result of that action it executed on your screen. So it's constantly checking, and we can see that in the live demo in a few minutes.
The eyes of the model is the screenshots it takes from the screen, from the application it's using.
So it doesn't have a live feed of what it's doing. So of course it tries to estimate what the result is going to be of a certain action, but it also verifies if it worked. And then the last step is that it's continuing taking more actions until it thinks it fully executed your prompt. So if your prompt would be copy this list of information into another list or in another system, it will continue navigate between those two systems, and then until it's done, and then it stops. So yeah, quite a cool way to execute on complex tasks. So we can read throughout the whole documentation, but I think it's just cool to show how it could work. So if you find this page on Google, then you just go to the top, and then you have this button, computer use reference implementation. And what they did here, they configured a virtual machine that it can run on any other machine. But that's already fully set up to work with this computer use API, but also runs in a separate environment and can be hosted as a web address. So you can also see what it's doing while you ask it something. So it has a little chat interface. You can see it, but I can show you later. But you can actually see what it's doing. So I already have it open over here, and we'll jump into it in a few seconds. But don't bother about what you see on top here. This is GitHub, where you see all the code, which is not really interesting for us. But if you scroll down for a little bit, you actually have this command. And this command does everything that we need to get the image up and running. So the only thing you need to enter is an API key over here. And an API key is basically your authorization to access the AI models from Anthropic, in this case, Claude. So if you want to create an API key, you don't go to Claude.ai, but you go to console.anthropic.ai.com, and there you can create an API key and you get some free credits. So that key starts with SK. It's a really long key, and I already did this. Before running this command, you also need to install Docker, which is also really easy. It all sounds complicated, but it's really easy. You go to the Docker website, you click install, you install it on your computer, and then you're able to run this command. And this command takes about a minute. And then it says, okay, visit this URL to see the virtual machine. So the virtual machine that we just spun.
Where do you run this command, maybe?
This command you can run in PowerShell. If you're running, I don't use Windows, but I think in PowerShell or in Windows, you can set up this Ubuntu environment and then you can run it on Windows. But on Mac, it's a lot easier. You can just copy and paste this in your terminal. So on Mac, if you just search for terminal over here, this is my terminal, and you can run this exact command over here. I won't show it here because then I expose my API key. Or let me revoke it after this video. But this is how I run the command. And if it's done running, it spins up the machine. So you can also see it over here. And it says, okay, now you can visit here this address in your browser to begin. So then you go to your browser on your main machine. And then you can see the whole interface. So over here, this is just a view in my web browser. So on the right, we have the virtual machine that's spun up. And then on the left, we can see some settings, and we can see a chat window. And I already made the start here, but we can also take control of the actual machine we see on the right, and then we can move around a bit. So I prepared this little use case where I had this website, and the use case is I want to gather all the information on this website, and I want the AI to put it in a Google spreadsheet, and I want the title, and I want the AI model to summarize all the information that it can find on this site. And I didn't specify exactly what I want from all these articles, but it figured out that I wanted the title, the category of the article, the author, the date, and it did make the summary for me. And we can now do a live demo. So we can continue from here. So a question we might want to ask is, search for more articles, or maybe also include a link of these articles in the spreadsheet, or maybe another use case you can come up with.
Can you maybe first show the first question you asked in the chat?
Yeah, it's really far up, and it includes some credentials as well. So
okay. Check.
Yeah, I don't want to show that. So maybe we can continue from here, but the phrasing was just, okay, copy look at the two tabs already open. So I manually opened these tabs and logged into these two. Yeah, at least in Google Spreadsheets, I needed to log in, of course. And then I just said, okay, look at the two tabs and figure this out for yourself. So it was a very generic test.
Maybe we can ask it to search for more AI related news and add it to the spreadsheet.
Yeah, sure. Search for more AI
related
news. Maybe we can also add another website. So what other website has interesting news?
AI related news, you mean? We can go to the Verge or
let's go look at the Verge. Okay. So search for more AI related news. Look at and copy that into our spreadsheet. Use both the information and the versions A6. Okay, maybe like this.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see what it does.
Let's see how smart it is.
Yeah. So one of the downsides I found is that it's really, really slow. So hopefully it's running. I'm hearing a sound in my headset, but yeah, it now figured out.
Yeah.
So you can see what it's doing over here. So if we scroll to the top for a little bit.
Yeah.
So it says, okay, no, I'm still on the screen with the Google Spreadsheet. I need the websites actually to look at that information. So you can see over here the action it's taking. The first action is moving to a certain coordinate on the screen, which represents the tab that's open. And then you can go ahead and then, it's just scrolls a little bit throughout the websites.
Yeah.
It found out the specific page for AI news on the Verge website, which is kind of cool.
To be clear, the screen on the right, you're not doing this. This is the
No, I'm not moving. So the AI is moving around. Works a little bit better when I release screen control.
Yeah, it's funny to see that it's using the scrolling and the navigating on the website. Takes a lot of screenshots.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we're now using the Sonnet model, so I imagine it could be a little bit faster when we were using the Haiku model. That's quite new, the 3.5 Haiku model. But I don't know actually if that's specifically trained for computer use.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're burning a lot of tokens here. So with these AI models, you're constantly paying for input and output. But of course, it's already cheaper than if you would a human do this. And yeah, you can see that it's entering some data now, which is quite cool. It gathers the author and it makes a nice structured spreadsheet from this. And it makes also a summary from the articles. And it includes the link now, which it didn't do before.
Yeah. And it's cool to see that it's still working the same as ChatGPT or Anthropic, that it's generating the tokens, it's generating the text, like it's writing the actual words.
Yeah, but it just has a little bit more context. So as context, it has images, which has been supported already. Now we have an error.
Firefox crashed.
So let's see.
Yeah, let's see what it's going to do.
It cancels the message. Yeah, and it goes on for a while now. But of course, now we're looking at it, but we could spawn something like this for 1 million times. And then we have the information a lot quicker, of course. But this is just a quick demo from them as well, where you can see how the technology is going to work in the future. So it's still in beta. And I think for this to work well, you need to deploy a couple of these things. But it's general purpose, right? Anything you can do behind a computer can be done by this AI. So open your email box, generate an answer for your emails, do an action in your CRM system. Yeah, you name it. Maybe you have more examples, Koen.
I think, like you said in the beginning, every data entry job. So, for example, a lot of companies we talk to have a lot of unstructured data in the form of PDF files, for example, and they would like to have this PDF data in a structured way saved in their databases. And you can have multiple ways of achieving this. And one way is to ask humans to open PDF files and then move over the information to a system. You could also use a more backend approach where you create some sort of pipeline where you OCR all these PDF files and then store it in a structured manner. Or you could use a tool like this and let it just use the existing infrastructure without needing to make API calls and combinations of systems. So this is maybe the most lean approach to going from unstructured to structured data in companies.
Yeah. So, and I think traditionally people needed us to make all these integrations, right, Koen?
Yeah.
Integrations and scripts and that kind of stuff. But now it understands and it makes basically a script on the fly.
Yeah.
Or you can see it like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It just uses the computer like a human would use it.
Yeah. And a human is able to perform almost any task on the computer.
Yeah.
But now you also have something that knows a little bit more than a human even. So it can perform either an accounting task or a sales task or whatever. Like plan something in your calendar or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I'm really curious because right now in this example, the model is going through the page with all the AI articles, and it remembers which articles already put in the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But that's a combination of the actual content of the article, but also the position on the page. So I'm curious how do they first analyze the page to create some sort of coordinate structure of the articles or something? How does that work?
I think they can see it on the image. So they see a scroll bar on the image. It notices it can either scroll or something. So before, in my first run, it continuously asked me, do I need to scroll the page or is this enough? And then I said, okay, just go on until you have all the articles. So I think there's a little bit of that instruction still in the context.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, it was more inclined to not use as many steps or tokens as like I think it's been trained to
be safe.
Go the short way first.
Don't spend too much tokens.
Yeah. Because they have been quite busy with all their recent announcements at Anthropic, right? So even yesterday they had some new announcements, and I think even today. So some new stuff in the Anthropic console. But yeah, I think this is a good demo, and I hope our audience can form a picture of what this technology can do in the near future. And it still makes some mistakes.
Like a human.
Yeah. But it's ultra flexible. So it might not be the most efficient way to handle your task, but it's ultra flexible in terms of can do anything on the computer. Yeah, so I think this is it for today, right? Or do we have some other cool stuff to share?
No, I think this is enough for today.
Yeah.
Maybe we can in the future make a new video when there's a new version of this computer use model to compare the advancements of this model to this model to show what it's more capable of in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And we also got a request, right, from a video from a customer we met recently this week.
Yeah.
So I think we'll make his video the next time.
The next video, you mean the live build video?
Yeah, live build of maybe you can tell a little bit more about the request itself, and then
yeah, sure. We were discussing how to spot AI opportunities in a company, and we thought it would be cool to have some sort of chatbots where you can interact with. The bot asks some questions about the company you're working with, and then based on this information, it comes up with potential AI implementations. So that would be a nice.
We can do a small live build part where we maybe show people how we would approach such a project and then make a start. But I don't think we can finish it in one video because we try to keep it at
video.
would be a very long video.
Yeah.
And we need to behave constantly, which I don't know if we can do that. But I think that's a nice video for next time, that we just give everyone a sneak peek in how to build AI solutions like this for their own organization. And that might be of use. So, yeah, I think if you enjoyed this video, subscribe. Keeps us motivated to make more of these. Like the video as well for the all-powerful algorithm from YouTube. And
AI algorithm.
yeah, probably AI
Yeah.
algorithm. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Until next
Thanks.
time.
See you next week.